kita ada Ustaz Nouman Ali Khan in the house. Tak nampak.
جمعة إن شاء الله تعالى فليتفضل. تفضل يا شيخ إن شاء الله. بسم الله.
It was the first time I actually gave a khutbah in the city. Actually, the first time was on 43rd in the UN, and then I was asked to give a khutbah here, and I was extremely nervous. I was 19 years old, and the person who calmed my nerves was him. He said, it's going to be okay. And but he didn't realize that
I've blown, and of course on haram things in the past too, right? On alcohol and gambling and all that stuff, but even other things. Just loves talking about how much money has been spent, has been thrown out. يَقُولُ أَهْلَكْتُ مَالًا لُبَدًا. And that's easy. People rush towards those things, right? And they rush towards making money so they can spend the big money. Their dream, man, I want to make this much money so I can get that vacation, get that car, blow money on this, blow money on that. That's what they're thinking about. People who would be fighting each other, who's going to get to help that person first? This is an uphill climb. It's not an easy thing to do. In fact, the imagery was used, like Ibn Ashur says in the Tahdhib wa Tanweer, he says this imagery was used because it requires a lot of mashaqqat al-nafs. It's really hard on a person to get to the point where the way they're competing for things they enjoy, they're competing for giving somebody help. They're jumping, leaping at the opportunity to help somebody. This is a sign of iman. فَكُّ رَقَبَةٍ أَوْ إِطْعَامٌ فِي يَوْمٍ ذِي مَسْخَبَةٍ. Beautiful words, the first two. He says, or feeding, any kind of feeding. In a time when it's difficult, even for you, it's difficult to even come up with a full meal. You take that half meal and you cut it into 2 quarters and you give one of those away. Like he says in another place in the Quran, وَيُؤْثِرُونَ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ وَلَوْ كَانَ بِهِمْ خَصَاصَةٌ. When he was talking about the Ansar, Allah said they give other people preference over themselves even when they're starving. So this is the second quality he mentions. Just give someone something to eat. Give them a little bit. You're not going to make them rich, but if you can just share a little bit of help with somebody else. And notice he didn't even mention who. It's an open-ended thing. إِطْعَامٌ لِمَنْ إِطْعَامٌ لِمِسْكِينَ إِطْعَامٌ لِذِي الْقُرْبَى. He didn't mention. Why? Because there's an openness. You never know who's going to need help. People that could have been doing okay yesterday, and then COVID happened, somebody got sick, they lost their job, now they can't pay their rent. They don't look like beggars, they look like they did yesterday. They look totally normal. But if you can tell from the look on their faces, something is going on. Something's wrong. You know? تَعْرِفُهُمْ بِسِيمَاهُمْ لَا يَسْأَلُونَ النَّاسَ إِلْحَافًا. You recognize those people by the look on their faces. They don't go around begging people. They're not standing outside holding a sign. Any money can help. They're not going to do that. They have dignity. So we have to recognize that. And then he adds, who are these people that you should be giving? The first one he mentioned is yatiman dha maqraba, the orphan that is in close family relations. You would think.
And we have a breakfast for you, inshallah. Bring your family, bring your kids, and come and join us, inshallah. Na'eed prayer, inshallah ta'ala. And today is a blessed day. The best sadaqah. If you can make sadaqah for the masjid, it will be rewarded. الحسنة بعشرة أمثالها. Every single good deed, exactly Allah multiply to 10. Except in the day of Arafah, in the Ramadan, Allah multiply to Allah. Wallahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, walillahi alhamd. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah. Wallahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, walillahi alhamd. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah. Wallahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, walillahi alhamd. This takbir will continue after every salah until the last day of the Tashriq, the 3rd day after the Eid. Tomorrow you continue the takbir until the Asr of the day number 13 of Zulhijjah, inshallah. But you are open to make takbir in the street, in the market, in everywhere, unlimited. Make as much as you could. Say La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. Make istighfar. Pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah